Arsenal player ratings versus Liverpool as Merino and Raya save a point. Martinelli encouraging. Arsenal took the onus to attack from the off against Liverpool, but like much of the season, when the chances came, they failed to take them, and it proved costly. First, Bukayo Saka had a volley go just wide of the goal unchallenged, and then Thomas Partey stole the ball from Curtis Jones inside the box only for both he and Leandro Trossard to leave it for the other and lose it. Liverpool would hit back with both barrels in quick succession. Firstly, Cody Gakpo headed in from close range, before seconds later the Reds found another ball in behind to Dominik Szoboszlai, whose cross reached a sliding Luis Diaz. Arsenal hit back early in the second half though, with Gabriel Martinelli's header glancing into the corner. Then they found the equalizer after Martin Odegaard finally shot from range to force a big save from Alisson that Mikel Merino gladly headed in the rebound. However, the Spaniard would then be sent off not long after. David Raya made a very good close range save from Luis Diaz that should have been put further to the Spaniard's right. However, he was beaten twice, with the second seeing Szoboszlai catching the keeper out of position. Produced another excellent save in the second period, tipping another long-range strike round the post. Right at the end of the game, the save from Van Dijk is unbelievable. 8. Ben White, certainly a difference from the usual assuredness of Jurrien Timber. White, too, guilty of being caught out of position, and despite a shot in the second half, had little impact on the game, but did salvage a performance with a good tackle on Gakpo plus the chance. 6. William Saliba. Made several errors in the lead-up to both Liverpool goals and nearly cost the side one before they went in. He was not alive to the danger of Gakpo in the box leaving him free, while Diaz managed to get the wrong side of the Frenchman to tap in the second. 5th, Jakub Kiwior. Awful positioning for the second goal, caught very far upfield, and the slow saunter back proved costly as Luis Diaz tapped in, unchallenged after Raya was forced to come out. Did manage to restore some pride with a last-ditch tackle on Jones in the box. 6. Miles Lewis-Skelly. Mohamed Salah had the beating of the 18-year-old on many occasions, and after going on to a yellow card, that only made the job even tougher. However, he did manage to survive, and mainly shut out Mohamed Salah, which is no mean feat. 6. Thomas Partey. Wasted a glorious chance after stealing the ball off Curtis Jones in the first half. Lucky to avoid a booking, Partey was guilty of several more fouls, putting him on a knife edge, with still well over a whole half to play, and just survived. 5. Mikel Merino. Tired. That is how I would describe the Spaniards' first half display, which lacked energy, and the tracking back also exposed just how important Declan Rice is to this side. However, he was alert to the chance to score the second Arsenal goal, heading in after the brilliant save by Alisson. But then with a rush of blood, having been booked in the first half, he dived in on Szoboszlai, rashly earning a second yellow card, and rightfully left the field of play. 5. Martin Odegaard provided the free kick for the early Bukayo Saka chance, but otherwise was widely ineffective in the first half. It was his strike, which was brilliantly saved by Alisson, that rebounded to Merino for the second. 6. Bukayo Saka missed a massive early chance from an Odegaard free kick, which he volleyed wide of Alisson's right post. Had the chance to get a goal back after the 2 quick-fire Liverpool strikes, but fired his attempt well over. 6. Gabriel Martinelli. His first clear impact on the game was his goal at the start of the second half, glancing in a header to beat Alisson, much better in the second half as he played mainly as a center forward. 7. Leandro Trossard messed up completely when Partey won the ball in the box. Miscommunication at its finest. Somewhat made up for his earlier mistake with the perfect cross for the Brazilian to claw a goal back. Sadly though, it appears he has suffered a problem with his left hamstring. 6. Kieran Tierney, coming on at left wing to replace the injured Martinelli, had little impact after coming on. N.A. Ricardo Calafiori, coming on at right back for Ben White, had little impact after coming on. N.A. Oleksandr Zinchenko came on late with little chance to change the game. Why Declan Rice is missing Liverpool versus Arsenal as Mikel Arteta? Decision explained. Arsenal have confirmed that Declan Rice misses out for Arsenal against Liverpool through injury. Rice played the full 90 minutes for the Gunners against Paris Saint-Germain in their Champions League semi-final second leg. However, the midfielder is not in the matchday squad at Anfield. Mikel Arteta acknowledged before kickoff that Rice is not fit. Declan couldn't even train, the Arsenal manager explained, so he's injured unfortunately and couldn't make the game. Leandro Trossard has replaced the midfielder in the starting lineup. Merino reverts to a midfield role rather than leading the line. He joins Martin Odegaard and Thomas Partey in the middle, as Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli flank Trossard. It is the first time Rice has missed a match this year. He was last unavailable for a game on the 18th of December, when a knock kept Rice out of the League Cup quarterfinal against Crystal Palace at the Emirates Stadium. The player's enforced absence ends a streak of 21 consecutive starts for club and country stretching back to late January. The last match Rice did not start was the final Champions League phase game versus Girona, in which he came on as an 82nd minute substitute. However, during that run, Rice has been replaced during the second half 9 times, completing the entire match in the other 12. The most recent of those withdrawals came last weekend, when he came off after playing 74 minutes against Bournemouth. Rice notably picked up a knock during the Champions League quarterfinal first leg against Real Madrid. Afterwards, Arteta said, "I think Dijk had an issue with his foot." The only other change sees Ben White replace Jurrien Timber at right back, with Arteta also acknowledging the latter is not fit. The back four of William Saliba, Jacob Kiwior, and Miles Lewis-Skelly remains, with David Raya in goal.